Hello, Internet, and welcome to Session Zero of Neon Gods. We're here today to play a ding dang game. This is our Session Zero of this new show we're going to be doing. We're going to talk a little bit about what it is, what game we're playing here tonight, and all that fun stuff. And we're going to do a little bit of like world building kind of setup. It's going to be a chill night. It's Friday the 13th, which is going to date this video. But it is Friday the 13th, so we just
Don't
figured...
tell them what year. They'll never figure it out.
Yeah.
They'll never know.
We figured we'd take it easy and not try anything too adventurous tonight, and risk the wrath of the universe. Before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about our schedule here on GGK and what we've got going on over this weekend, and then I'll let my lovely players here kind of introduce themselves and talk about who they are. So this weekend, tomorrow is Saturday, we will be having the next session of Saturday Night's Star Power, which is a Fate game that I run, where we're playing a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure / Jujutsu Kaisen anime bullshit inspired hellscape. So come join us for that tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern time. And then on Sunday, we'll be back with Dusk Falls Dead, which Savannah runs at 4 o'clock Eastern time. It is Blades in the Dark and doing crime. Or we're doing crime. We're doing new crime this
murder
time.
Specifically.
Yeah, specifically murder.
We did a good murder last time. I was proud of us.
So we'll be back for that on Sunday. Rest of our schedule for next week should be normal. I say that. I'm right. Am I right on that? Because normally I say that and I immediately regret it because somebody tells me no. Aliens are invading or something's going on.
I mean, they might.
No.
Yeah.
That was last week.
Okay, cool.
You should be good.
So we're good then. All right. I am going to stop talking for a second. Let my lovely players here introduce themselves. Just tell me a little bit who you are, what you do on and off the channel if you're in any other streams, and who you are. Well, do we want to talk about who we're playing here tonight? I think we have this on the stream.
We have names, but I don't have anything else on there.
Let's just say like who you are and if there's anything you want to plug or promote. So starting with Savannah.
It's me. I'll go first. Hi, I'm Savvy. I'm at Savvy Seaworth on the internets, mostly on Twitter, where you can find my streaming schedule pinned to the top of my page. I'm live on this channel Thursdays through Mondays, either playing in games or running them. Dusk Falls Dead on Sunday, and then Strixhaven on Monday nights. You can join us for that. And then when I'm not here on Sunday nights, I'm on twitch.tv/lbhackemup, playing Masks and soon to be playing Dungeons and Dragons again. And in that game, I play a weird centaur who doesn't know where she is or what's going on most of the time, but she's great. And I'm playing a character you haven't met yet tonight.
As are we all.
I just have to talk about myself, and it's weird to stop there, but I'll stop there.
Sid.
Hey, I'm Christina Sid. You can find me on the Twitters at Greek Sid, almost exclusively talking about the shenanigans here. I'm here several nights a week. The big one is I run our game of Urban Shadows on Thursdays. That's at 8 o'clock Eastern. We had date night last night. Yeah, it was great. It was lots of dates. It was super cute. People caught feels, and it was lovely. I quite enjoyed it. And you will too, if you watch it on Thursdays. Otherwise, I'm here several days and nights a week. If I'm not here, then I'm over on Wednesdays on twitch.tv/criticalmisses. We have our premiere of our second season of Queer Society over there. It's going to be fun. I bought a red coat costume. So that'll just tell you where I'm at with that. Should be a lot of fun. So yeah, check that out on Wednesday. And that's it, because I'm not going to tell you about my character because it's a surprise.
And our brand new newcomer to the channel, Sita, why don't you tell the peeps a little bit about who you are?
I'm John Sita, brand new to the channel. I guess I've been hiding in the cave for the last few thousand years, but happy to have rejoined humanity. And yeah, that's about it. I'm getting, my Twitter and everything set up and put together. I think Savvy has a link, but expect more in the future.
Awesome. And also has a character that we'll talk about eventually, since we're all just rubbing that in the chat's faces.
I wasn't planning on talking about my character.
Okay.
At all. Oh,
No.
okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Make it real quick tonight then. Yeah. Thanks, guys. See you later.
Bye.
And
Playing a sentient tire. That's all you need to know.
Oh no, not again.
And I am Val. You can find me at the Crown's Crown on Twitter and Twitch. I'm here Thursdays through Mondays playing and running games. Or I talked about the games that I run on this channel, because one's tonight, one's tomorrow. That's all I'm doing right now with the games that I'm running, and then I'm playing in most of the others. So if we're live, I'm probably here, except for on Tuesdays. And I'll be actually playing a character tonight too. We'll talk about that in a minute as well. Let's go ahead and chat a little bit about what the plan is for this show, because it's going to be kind of weird.
Because we made one this time.
Yeah,
Made
we made
a
a
game.
Yeah. Okay,
plan.
so I feel like I should change the music to something like a little chiller while we're.
Put on chill wave.
I want to put on some chill wave.
Okay.
Just like get us in the groove. Okay. So we are going to be playing Good Society. As a game we've played on this channel before. Sid is our resident expert with Good Society. I think he's probably played the most of the game and is the only person here that has run it. So that's going to be, I'll be looking to Sid for a lot of rules.
What I'm here for.
It's the only reason why Sid's here.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have her otherwise.
Totally.
So we've played this game a couple of times. If you're interested in that, we have 2 series that are up on YouTube. Elegant. What was the first one?
Elegant Suffering.
Suffering.
Thank you. Elegant Suffering, and then Elegant Magic.
You want to call this game Elegant Society so bad.
I want to call it Elegant Society so badly.
that?
What is wrong with me? So yeah, those 2 shows are up there. We played it. That was like by the book mostly, and what you can expect from the system. We're tweaking things a little bit because it's my first time running the game, so why not make it more complicated? I had the vision of having a game based on the series of novels called The Wicked and the Divine. I don't think I have my book because it was stolen from me.
No, it wasn't. It's in here.
You stole it from me.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Do you want me to go get it?
No, it's fine. Karen Gillian wrote them.
And some
I
other
think I-
folks.
Yeah, and some other folks. But it's basically the concept is every 100 years, the pantheon of gods is resurrected.
90 years, don't get it twisted.
Do you want to start this right now?
I offered.
Every 90 years, 100, about, we'll round up to a century. Once a century, a pantheon of gods is resurrected, sort of reincarnated in random people across the globe, and they have a year to live, and then they mysteriously all die. 2 years to live. Mysteriously all die. It's been a long time since I've actually read the graphic novels, but basically that's the premise of it. I wanted to do something with that, so what our idea for this game is going to be is essentially kind of following that. We all of us were normal people living our lives, and then one day you're a god. You have all the memories of your past lives and reincarnations that just come flooding in, and you're part of this pantheon. It's the same gods that get resurrected every time. We haven't built out who that pantheon is yet. We're going to talk about that a little bit today. But they're history figures or deities from history is what we're doing. We're not making up our own. Each of us has picked a deity of some kind, and that's who we're going to be basing our character off of. So we have hacked good society because the focus for this game is going to be mostly on the relationships between the characters of the Pantheon and the sort of struggles they deal with in like societal pressures, what it is to be this like larger than life figure, because all of them have in some way become celebrities with followings and social media accounts and Instagrams, the TikToks and the Vines, and whatever the kids are doing these days. But they are all famous in some regard. So what we have essentially done is tweak this. We've taken that same cycle of play that we're seeing before, where we're essentially going to like set scenes and role player characters in the scenes. They're going to be tokens that we do instead of dice, where we're trading tokens for actions that we want to accomplish and negotiating with other players when it kind of conflicts with their desires or kind of circumvents or undermines what they're trying to do. And all that good stuff. It basically runs the exact same as Good Society. The difference is going to be in a couple of things. So we have renamed all of the major characters, the essentially the playbooks that the major characters use. Did it change? No, it did. Sorry, my music. I thought had just changed into different kind of giving different archetypes that everybody's going to uphold. And then that's really the big things. Oh, and then everybody's going to have a domain essentially that is going to influence kind of at the end of a scene, at the end of a cycle, how you did. Like, did you uphold the tenets of that domain that you preside over as a deity? And that's where the conflict is, like things I want to do, social life, versus being a deity with responsibilities and commitments to a higher calling. So what I want to do here today is kind of talk a little bit about the characters that we're thinking about playing. I think that's the best place to start. I want to go character forward, and then we will kind of talk a little bit about the setting, both the things that we've already imagined that we kind of talked about previously because we've done a little bit of work on this before today, and then fleshing out some of the issues some of the areas that we left blank, so that we can get all that situated for our first session. The other cool thing that I alluded to just a little bit ago, I am not going to be strictly facilitating this game. I've created this thing. I brought this together, and now I am letting it out into the world like a mother bird kicking the baby out of the nest, and it's gonna fly or fall on its own merits. So I'm going to be playing a character like everyone else. We're all going to be kind of co-facilitating this, and kind of pushing the story wherever we want, because we're all gods and we all get to kind of decide what our own futures are. So it's super meta like that.
Whoa.
Yeah. Cool. Let's talk about character stuff. I will be sort of emceeing this to keep us on track so we get done in a reasonable amount of time. That's the
When
most
have we ever gotten off track?
I think we're especially bad at.
You staying on track? Yeah, especially on Fridays. We don't tend to go off on long-winded tangents
Fridays are
about
back,
anything.
baby.
Fridays are back. Okay, so let's talk about characters. We've all picked a different deity that we're inspired by. I think, spoiler alert, they're on the overlay. But
Well, the name everyone's going by is on the overlay.
fair, I guess. Y'all didn't go along the same thing as me and just literally just used your god name.
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, that's fine. You know, individual people might want to be more secretive with it than others.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe y'all just want to ruin this game for me.
Yep.
We've done it. We've already ruined the game for Val.
Yay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about it. So mine's on the screen. I chose the Morrigan, essentially a collection of goddesses. out of Celtic, specifically Irish Celtic folklore. They're that I was. They are a character in the Wicked and the Divine series of graphic novels, but I'm going to be sort of differentiating it a little bit. I won't talk too much about it, but if anyone out there is a huge nerd for the series and you're curious what it's going to be, it's going to be different. But yeah, I guess I won't talk about the playbook yet. We'll do that.
We'll get to that, yeah.
Let everybody else do theirs first. So somebody else talk about which god they're doing.
Who's just saying which god we're doing?
Sure, yeah, let's do that. Go.
I can go.
Yeah, we'll start just calling people. We don't have time to.
I'm doing Hel from Old Norse mythology, who rules over Hell.
Each single hockey stick.
Just the one hockey stick. And she carries around a hockey stick. No. I'm doing
Gotta change
Hel,
character art now.
The Norse goddess of the underworld.
Sid,
who are you doing?
I chose Calliope. Shocker, Greek mythology. Huh, who knew? There's a little bit of wibbly wobbliness here, but the way I'm going with it is that she's sort of the leader of the 9 muses. She's all about inspiring others to their greatness.
And Sita, who you pick?
I went for a big, fat, jolly guy who loves to give gifts out. It's Odin. I went with Odin, father.
Grandpa.
That would have been a twist if you had said you were going to do Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
Yeah, I misled you guys for the last 3 or 4 conversations. Planning to do Santa Claus the whole
full
time.
Saint Nick, yeah.
Santa Claus really is just a modern deity at this point.
Pretty much.
Though. Think about it.
You might call him an American god.
Whoa.
Whoa. I've had a change of plans, y'all. We're all gonna play Santa Claus
doing
and
American
Monopoly
Gods
Man,
instead.
And I'd never actually watched American Gods.
I'm playing Jeff Bezos.
I'm gonna be the Coca-Cola polar bear. I hope that's all right.
That means I can be Pepsi Man.
Yeah.
No, I claim the Pepsi product. I'm being Britney Spears.
Man, suddenly I feel like I got the short end. You guys got Santa Claus.
Cool. So those are the 3 that we're doing. Obviously, as you can tell by the overlays, everybody has a alter ego, essentially, or something else they go by that is not just their god's name, sort of modernized, made their names hip, whatever it might be, or just to be anonymous. So what we have done in the before times is we have created personas that are going to function as our character types, and those are centered around what kind of celebrity you are. There are I can just list them off. We have the phenomenon, who is a viral influencer, the rock star, who's an entertainment celebrity, the humanitarian, who's an altruistic idol, the capitalist, who's a business mogul, politician, who's a power broker, cult leader, who's a mystical figure, and the anarchist, a countercultural icon. And all of them will have different positive and negative rep conditions, but this kind of gives us a broad overview of who our characters are. I chose for mine the capitalist, because that's what I aspire to be in life. No, but it's a business mogul, and essentially they have a company. I mean, thinking of, again, we were making jokes about it, but yeah, kind of the Elon Musk type, unfortunately, except better. So
unequivocally better.
Yeah. But that's who the Morrigan is going to be, is kind of a brand, a business mogul, an investor, that sort of thing. Savannah, what is Hella's thing going to be?
Hilla's going to be the rock star, an entertainment celebrity. Should I say what they do? Are we doing that now?
Sure, you can do that.
So Hilla is a celebrity medium, except the ghosts are real because they can really talk to the dead. So think like kind of like if Chris Angel was happy sometimes. Is kind of what I'm going with.
Okay. If Chris Angel was happy
I'm doing like a
sometimes.
pastel goth thing.
You are.
So yeah, think about it's like Chris Angel, but there's like a unicorn in there sometimes. Anyway, they go on TV and talk to the dead and make a big show out of it and probably play Vegas sometimes. And they really like being famous. But yeah, I'm doing the rock star.
Awesome. I don't think I said what the business is that Morgan handles. I think I'm going for a tech company, vaguely. Their godhood is over somewhere here. War and fate, especially foretelling doom, death, or victory in battle. So I think they might get a little bit into the military-industrial complex, but we don't have to talk about that too
cool.
much. Mostly a tech company.
We don't talk about military and no.
So
It won't scam. It's fine.
I think that's going to be a super fun conflict to see, though. But yeah, so a little bit of the mostly a tech company. Does use their research for other things too. Sid, what is yours?
Calliope is it sounds strange to say, but as more of a power broker, I'm going politician. And she sort of at its heart runs a very powerful talent agency. So she goes out there, cultivates and inspires talented individuals out there, and gets their careers skyrocketing.
And you said yours is the politician as your persona?
Yeah, just because she's the power behind the throne, somewhat.
I like it. And Cito, what is Odin?
So old Joe, up until a couple of weeks to a couple of months ago, nobody would have known who he was. But then his teenage daughter started recording the dances that he does in the food truck and around the bus they live out of, and started posting that online. People just loved the shameless getting into it way that he was, and just fell in love with his charisma. And so now he's the viral.
I love it. So we talked about this a little bit. So there's this pantheon we've all been a part of, we've all existed as a part of for millennia, being reincarnated and seizing power during this time period. We haven't talked about whether we have some sort of arbitrary, like, limited amount of time that we exist on this world, because I'm assuming there is a point that we die, and then we're reincarnated again. If we're going to go with that same cycle every 100 years, if we're going to, like, make it a little bit more like whether we live like normal lives, or if we have like 2 years, 5 years, 10 years or something like that before we die, like, do we have any thoughts on any of that?
I like the idea. It adds a seriousness to it, kind of a seriousness is not quite the right word, but pressure.
Yeah, because we decided, so getting a little bit into things that we talked about off stream, the idea here is that the pantheon is established is some sort of agreement of gods that we will tolerate each other for these resurrections that have died and come back, a couple times, like way eons ago, and then got bored with that and decided, hey, let's chill out. Let's make a set of rules. So part of those rules was this like pact, agreement, covenant, whatever you want to call it.
Don't kill each other.
And we're not going to kill each other. And that we essentially, when we resurrect, there's a set of like defined rules that we have to follow, that we've all agreed to. We haven't decided what those are yet. We can talk about those kind of now, or kind of come up with those as we play. But one of the basic tenets that we talked about is like, we don't kill each other. Odin, you said that you have been kind of pieced out on this agreement for a while, where you decided, no, I don't really want to be a celebrity. I don't really want people to worship me anymore. And so you kind of dipped.
Yeah, he was more focused on wanting to take care of his daughter than get involved in any big world thing.
So at least some level, you have been around for, like, you've had a kid who is older at the like is old enough to like use the internet and stuff at this point. So
like 5.
So 4.
Like 5.
No, yeah.
I mean, we could say something. We could give ourselves like, it doesn't really matter. We could say like 20 years or something like that. And, you know, that's it. Again, not really going to come up during play. I just want to know whether there is some sort of like vague, like ticking like clock to get our shit done here before we move on.
I think it's more interesting.
Okay. So we're going to go with, there is a ticking clock, long enough though that we're not necessarily right up against it, or do we want to say this game takes place within the last year of this cycle or something like that, and something like super dramatic? We have 1 week. This entire game takes place over 1 week. The last
We're doing a
week.
24. Literally every single minute
day
that we play.
Yes.
We're playing in real time.
So we will have 8 sessions, and that'll be it.
I don't. So if it's really short, then that's going to become a kind of dominating part of the story, right? It's going to it'll be hard to avoid that.
Yeah.
And anything that we might try to drive forward with our character would either be limited or have to involve that in some way.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a bad thing, but it's like, I mean,
it would turn it into,
my character's kind of all wrapped around that anyway, but it's up to you guys, really.
I think maybe like there were other aspects of this that we wanted to explore that necessarily weren't about us having a limited amount of time. But I do like the idea though that we're not immortal. Like none of us are going to be here forever. Like when our current incarnations die, we die too. So, okay, cool. I was just curious about it. So we'll say there is some sort of abstract amount of time that we're here for, and then we bounce. So we talked about the covenant, the pact. What do we want to call that?
The covenant sounds fancy.
Could be a thing of many names.
Okay.
Different incarnations maybe decide what they want to call it.
We'll go. Yeah. I'm gonna write the covenant in my notes until somebody makes a Halo joke, and then I'm changing it to something else.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. So the covenant. So rule number 1 is
Don't kill each other.
no killing other members of the pantheon. So I just wanted to write that down. So basically, kind of to give us an outline, because we're kind of getting into something, is the things, the to-do list I want to kind of come up with today. I want to know where everybody exists, because we decided this is vaguely going to take place on the West Coast. We don't all have to be neighbors, but we're going to keep it on the West Coast just so we're not like opposite sides of the world. So where everybody is located, we need to come up with our connections, or what did we call them? They call it in this game, the chorus.
Chorus, yeah.
We need to come up with that. We need to actually put our characters together. Where'd be the best? What do you guys want to start? You want to start with like the character stuff and the connection stuff, and then flesh out things from there?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. All right. So we have the sheet up for Neon Gods. I don't know if I think everybody's in it except for Sita. I don't know if you pulled it up. There's a link in the
Discord,
in the Discord.
the character sheet bits.
Yeah.
I was trying to, I don't know why, but like every time I would try to edit it yesterday, Drive would just shut down. So I did copy paste it and I sent it to Savvy. So maybe if they were feeling real nice, they might copy paste that into the file for me.
Yeah. I've got your like description and stuff.
Oh, then I missed a thing. Well,
Let me
Good.
post the link that we're on right now so you can get to this page.
Yeah, you weren't able to edit it because I didn't
Yeah,
give
Sid
y'all
hadn't given us
editing
permission
permission. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay, the link that I just posted in the Discord should take you to
Yeah, try that.
the character sheet.
Oh, also in the chat, I saw Z brought it up at the store. Name an NPC is open today. If you have any NPC names, feel free to throw them out there. We will incorporate them as a group. Just a forewarning for anybody watching this who likes to do ridiculous NPC names to make the players laugh. We will all know about the name as soon as it comes in because one of us will get to decide how we introduce that NPC since we're kind of co-running this. So we'll all have a good giggle when the name comes up, but it won't be the big surprise of having
Tombo
mutt
Dad
dancing.
reveal.
Yeah. I think we all named a different character.
A Jimothy.
A
Yeah.
Jimothy or a Tombo Det, who is a real man who I made into a clockwork.
He'll leave the
Librarian.
light on for you.
He will in the library, where he works forever, soulless,
ever.
always working, never stopping.
Were you able
I
to
hope
get it
Tom Bodette is not watching because I think he just
I
had
love you, Tom Bodette.
Crisis.
If you're out there, I love
But
you.
you know what? Let's do. we
Unless
could do
you've
our
done something
collab.
shitty over the last year, in which case, fuck you, I guess.
Yeah.
Hi, Sita. Welcome to the channel. I like to threaten famous people.
Yeah, that's a pretty.
see, that was pretty harsh. I'm pretty sure I've done something shitty. In the last it's a high bar.
I regularly tell Jeff Bezos he can fight me.
Yeah, you do.
That's
He hasn't
fair.
taken
Elon-
me up on that, but I think it's because he's
He's
coward.
scared. He's real scared.
Okay.
Pretty sure
Were you
that's
able
why
to-
he tried to go to space. I'm just saying.
Were you able to get it up?
Just to get away from me.
see?
Whoa,
Get it from
that's
him.
really personal, Val.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh boy, it's gonna be one of those.
It's always one of those. I don't know why you thought it was going to be any different.
Yes, I was able to pull up the spreadsheet.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so we should do our collaboration first, actually, before we get
Oh, yeah.
too much into this. So collaboration, this is straight out of Good Society. I'm not gonna really edit much with this. So we get to decide what tone the story is gonna have, so we can all be on the same page. We'll agree to the collaboration now. This can change throughout the play. We might get, a cycle into this and be like, you know what, this doesn't really fit anymore. I want to talk about our collaboration. So we will re-review this collaboration periodically.
It's
to make
actually
sure
built
there's
into the game. It's built
Yes.
into the cycle that we have to revisit it, and everybody has to say, I'm still okay with this.
Yeah. So right now, you choose what tone the story should have. The three options here are drama, romantic comedy, and farce. I don't remember if we talked about where
we did talk about
we
it.
said the
Ye-
tones that we went through differently for us are epic, action comedy, and reality TV.
Yeah.
Were the three tones that we wanted to choose
Last
from.
time we talked about it, we landed in the middle on
Yeah.
action comedy.
Action comedy.
And I still
Action
feel
comedy.
good. I don't know about everybody else, but I still feel good about that.
I love living in the middle. Yeah.
Okay. We don't
How's it
have
just
a.
me?
Do I need to actually write something here to describe what action comedy is, or do we feel pretty
get,
good
like-
that we all understand what an action comedy
Well,
is?
For the chat at least, can we get like a good example?
I can just
Is like a piece of
totally-
media that's like a good example of what we're talking about?
Yeah, I'm just gutting the sheet.
All
Sorry.
Marvel movies.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna put down some MCU movies.
The MCU is a good example.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much the most applicable example here. Is
Yeah.
kind of like the tone that we're going for is kind of like a Marvel movie tone. Okay,
Yeah.
if somebody has any other ideas, like says like, oh, this.
I
movie-
bet we're gonna go. It's gonna be a little bit sillier in that at times, but
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It'll probably fluctuate.
Less of
it
an
always tends to.
end game and more of a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Or Guardians.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's good. Next question is, how important is historical accuracy?
None of it.
So here's what I want to actually. This does apply in some as far as like historical accuracy to the gods as they existed, the mythology, that sort of stuff. We're being pretty loose with that. I feel like
I still think that middle ground is a good place to fall. We're loosely based on.
Yeah.
Some more loosely than others.
okay,
I
so we can
would
go with
say.
somewhat important. We'll try to get it
Yeah.
right where it counts, but we're not going to stop the game to find out historical fact.
Because I won't spoil them, but I know for a fact that Sita's done some really cool stuff that's heavily based in some of the mythology. I'm really excited about it.
Cool. How do we treat the gender power balance off?
No
Turn
gender.
it off.
No
Like a
gender.
light
Only
switch.
swag.
Only swag. How much hidden information will be used in this game? I'm gonna say none
I don't think
because
we
we can't
can.
really do that if there isn't gonna be a true. I can't hide anything for y'all. I would, but for seriously, like I think that this game's gonna work the best if we try to keep our cards on the table and not like be too cagey about stuff we're trying to do. Like being open to talk about our characters' motivations and where we're going with things and stuff. It's okay to surprise people, and I think we're gonna get surprised by the things that people do. You don't have to like spell out everything you're trying to do, but it's going to be easier to participate and kind of like build off people's plans if we feel comfortable with saying like, this is kind of where I see my character's story going.
Like, this
Are
is what
y'all
I'm trying to do
willing-
right now.
Yeah. Are y'all willing to go along with me on this? So
And we're good. We're pretty good about differentiating between player and character knowledge
Yeah.
and all that fun stuff. So
yeah. Is there anything in our game should avoid? So these are our lines and veils, triggers, that sort of thing. We don't have to go into this right now. What I'll just ask is that if there's anything specific, I will put our general list on here that we tend to avoid. Basically, don't be a dick is our kind of basic principle. But I'll put like specifics on there of what our like core things are to avoid are lines are. But if y'all have anything that you specifically want to make sure that we avoid, feel free to send it to me. I think this is the area where I will act most like a GM with enforcing these. So please, if there is anything you can think of, just send me a message, shoot me a message, and I'll add it. Is there anything that we'd love to see in our game?
You know what I'm going to say.
So I think this is the part that I do like want to sit here and add stuff to. So Savannah, yes,
Everybody knows what I'm going to say.
What are you going to say?
It's kissing.
Okay. You want me to make that broader to romance?
That's fine.
Okay.
Somebody always says it. So
Because if it's just kissing
there.
and no romance, like we can
No,
do that too.
completely
But I-
romanceless kissing.
Yeah, just platonic kisses.
platonic Frenching. Yes, that's
Okay.
what I'm here for.
So romance. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
I always do that one.
Yeah, that tends to be a given with these games anyway. Okay. What else? And again, we will add to this if things get thought of. But
It's like generals.
I want to add moral conflicts
Okay.
to this, if we're good with that.
Yeah.
That's not something we get into a lot with, I think, our Good Society games so far, we haven't really got into it. It's mostly been like personal stakes. But given the scope that we're dealing with, I think like severe moral conflicts from like position of power that we're holding like would be.
Yeah, it's not a matter of can we, but should we?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because will almost always be possible. It's whether you should.
I've changed my god. I'm actually going to be playing Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park. That's
What god would he be?
Jeff Goldblum.
Just go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Easy.
say power struggles.
I like that. Okay. Expound on that a little bit.
Make me. And there you go.
Like that. Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
And I mean, like, kind of
Like on a personal level, or like a global level.
on a personal and an interpersonal level, maybe a little bit on a global level. I just think like because especially so much of like the reputation conditions we've come up with and stuff are based in fan bases or congregations or whatever you're gonna call the people that follow you. And so like I think it'll be interesting sort of between us and between those connections. And I feel like it's gonna be hard to do a setting like this without getting into that a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I mean, because some of us will potentially be influencing things on a geopolitical level. So, like, that could be.
yeah.
The Morgan. What?
Excuse me?
You're cheating. You have 3.
How about humanity? I mean, like personality flaws, getting choked up over stuff, like nostalgia. I think a lot of our actions might be highlighting the God side, but we still remember the mortal that we were and are, you know?
So, like, conflicts with, like, internal conflict with humanity. Is that what you're kind of getting at? Okay.
Yeah, and like, not necessarily all internal, but maybe the conflict is internal. Yeah, but you know, for example, like maybe your mom calls you one day or something. You know what I mean? You haven't talked to your mom in a few years because you know you're a god now, but she's still trying to get a hold of you.
Well, so that to me begs an interesting question that we can talk about at some point. Did any of us know each other when we were just human?
That's a good. We'll talk about that in a second because we're gonna have to do our relationship stuff.
Did our humans know each other? And then we're like, oh shit, because then there's those vestiges of like just whole human relationships.
All right, I'm putting in. Does it not wrap? Does the text not wrap?
I think
You might have to edit it.
You can change it to make it do that, but
All right, I'll do that another time. We're moving on. I like those. We will add stuff. What just happened? It made it worse. How did it get
I didn't do
worse?
it.
I haven't touched it. It's not me. It's usually me. It's not me this time.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm just trying to. Nope.
Wow, none of
Okay,
us learned how to
Excel.
use Excel, huh?
No.
You'd think I would know.
I'm just gonna do it. Power struggles. Conflict.
Poetry, beauty, romance, love.
Okay, we're just gonna do that. All right, so that's what we have here. That's what we'll start with. If you want to add anything else, let me know. So characters. We've all talked about who we are playing. So what we have to decide is desires, relationships. I'm not a new arrival. Sorry, I'm adding new stuff in as I go. Sid, you'll have to remind me. Is there something we use specifically for desires or relationships, or
In the Good Society, there is the cards for that, so
Okay.
they give you a ton of options. I think we were switching that around a little bit though, given that we we're also switching things down around to like domain and stuff too.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't have anything notes on here as far as what we changed that to.
I mean, I feel like we might not have to. Like, we could probably choose our own desires
Okay.
and make it fit for the character. And then the relationship aspect was just like, we probably do need to either pick that we knew each other before we took on godhood, or now we associate more heavily with each other now that we are gods.
Yeah, I think we should all have like a defining connection with one other person and probably try to bring that in a circle so everybody is connected to
Giver and a
someone.
taker of a relationship of some kind.
Yeah.
Okay.
So did anybody have anything like off the bat? And this can be both relationships before or after godhood.
I do actually. I think the person in the group that Joe would know is going to be Sav. And I don't think Sav the mortal, but considering you're playing Hell, I would remember your goddess life and then like all those incarnations. And maybe I could just figure out, just kind of intuit, you on the TV. You're my granddaughter, aren't you? And you may have had the exact same thing too if you're scrolling through a TikTok and we're like,
Surely not.
Grandpa, come
Grandpa?
on.
That's not how
got
you
more
floss,
dignity
Grandpa.
than
Come
that.
on.
God, you even heard of Fortnite? I love that. I think that's great.
So is that, I guess, Joe.
We're gonna note down the ones we're giving.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
To other people.
So Joe would know like the core of the relation. So for you, where it says relationship on the sheet, you would put, I guess, how do you want to define the relationship between the two of you? Because you clearly know each other from God days, but like, is this like a family kind of thing, almost, or is this like
technically? But the relations there are probably a little strained.
Estranged grandpa.
Yeah.
Estranged grandfather.
Okay.
Hello just passive aggressively makes duet TikToks of all Joe's TikToks.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay, cool. So since you gave one to Savannah, who are you giving yours to?
Well, I was gonna say, what if Meredith was Hella's agent? Like initially.
I think that could be really cool. Because my thought was Meredith. My whole backstory thing was Meredith was like a struggling like lounge singer, like in Vegas, and even before godhood, like was just sort of that person that like, performed with somebody and like had that relationship, and then their like star was on the rise and they like moved on, and then like she performed with someone else and then they got famous and moved on. She was like, what the fuck? Just like always on the periphery of things, and then came into godhood and went, oh, okay, that makes sense. Well, why don't I just do this on purpose now and like actually actively help
Because
people out here?
That's one of the cores we're talking about too. None of us were famous before we reincarnated, essentially.
Right.
Like that, our godness is kind of what got us to succeed.
So yeah, I think that would make a lot of sense. Like maybe right as they both sort of came into manifested their powers, tracked you down, and they kind of went, oh, okay, yeah,
you,
well, yeah,
me,
you, yeah, me, yeah, no, yeah, okay,
me,
we can make this work, yeah. I like that.
Okay. Then Sid, I guess yours has to be with the Moor again.
Ah, man, no, that's fine. How would we do that? I don't. Well, I guess what was the Morgan doing before godhood then? Would they have known each other then, or did they associate afterwards?
That is a good question, because we got to talk about timeline a little bit, because Odin has had a kid since becoming a god, or you had your kid and then realized after that.
I'm thinking he
Had you
had the
like
kid pretty young, so before godhood.
Okay.
Although, if you guys are okay with it, I still like the idea of him having been a god longer than you guys and having just not gone to class.
Pieced on it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's a super
Okay, so you were
sneaker.
one of the first, and you just didn't report to wherever you were supposed to report
Yeah,
to.
he never showed up for
I'm cool with
orientation.
that. Well, that makes it easier too, because we don't have to deal with the fact like the rest of us are so young and you're older and stuff like that. That makes sense. Okay, so honestly, I think she was probably just a college student. I think was probably bouncing between classes, maybe thinking about maybe getting a business degree because that's what everybody else was doing. Like, not really sure what she wanted to do. Very unambitious.
I was
Okay.
thinking something similar.
I mean, could she have even if she maybe was in the Vegas area-ish and she maybe just worked at one of maybe she was bartending or serving at some of these places? They could have
Sure.
even known each other then.
Okay. So maybe pre godhood then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I was thinking about getting a business degree. Internship.
Okay. Internship at
The talent agency once they
That was just a
did.
thought that I had.
So maybe Morgan awoke
a
after.
little later.
Okay.
Sure.
I can do that. So intern for Meredith. No, that's yeah. Or is that the one you're writing that?
I think
down?
that would be me. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. That I was your intern. So then I pick one for Joe. What did They were hiding, so it really makes sense we knew each other beforehand. I think this is
Hiding,
prob-
but he's not hiding out,
Yeah.
Like he's
What is
keeping
Joe's day job? What was he doing?
He's a variety over the years, but for the last several years, he's been working out of a food truck in Multnomah Village, Portland.
What if so I can go two ways with this. My first instinct was something along the lines of this is pre this cycle, even way back when Joe wanted out of the cycle, because I imagine this is something that maybe even if this was that was something that kind of maybe got hinted to, and then there's been a couple cycles that he's disappeared during, and then this is the one where we finally found him again because of social media. Maybe there was some tension there. I was either thinking maybe some tension there, the Morgan was either really bitter about that or resentful about that, or we could go with maybe helped.
Yeah, I was wondering if maybe you gave me the idea.
If you don't like it, just go. Kind of the
Why are you even here?
situation.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking as a god of fate, again, there's kind of a conflict necessarily in their nature a little bit, but I was thinking maybe it was one of the conversations you had with the Morrigan was what kind of gave you the idea to peace out. It's maybe this isn't what you're supposed to do.
I like that.
Okay, so I'll say gave Joe the idea to...
What if you were even talking about something else? You know what I mean? Like, I don't have like a real good example off the top of my head, but like, what if we were actually discussing a different topic
Yeah.
and you said that, and I went, oh, you know, I think that's a good idea, and then I just stopped being a god.
Yeah.
Just did
So
the
I'll
shit.
just put it vague, like is inspired Joe to leave the Pantheon, and we can just kind of flesh that out as we go. And
But
you know, that might come up if you have like an idea of what that conversation would have been or what that would have happened, or one of us does during play, we can
can
go
I
back.
add one more thing to something I would like to see out of this game?
Sure.
Flashbacks.
Oh, that's actually really good.
I love a good
Flashbacks to
flashback.
prior. I like
We talking like to our previous life, or literally like to previous reincarnations of godhood?
I was thinking
Whatever's
previ-
appropriate.
Yeah, I was thinking like to previous reincarnations and stuff. But yeah, flashbacks would
Fun.
be good.
Fun.
Yeah, even to like early in our lives, like when we were humans. I like implementing
Dope.
those as well, because we had all right. So we have like the types of scenes that we'll be doing. That'll come up because we have event split we have a event split bottle and spotlight. We could change one of those to flashback instead. Like would
Ooh.
instead of doing like a bottle thing be like a flashback, because a flashback is just the ultimate bottle episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
All right, we're gonna add that as one of the options. I'm gonna edit that because I do really like that idea to like incorporating flashbacks into our game, because we have this very long-standing history with all of our characters. Like,
Spanning eons.
yeah, this is kind of taking a Eternals sort of
Yeah.
Yeah.
spin. Yeah. Okay, so that deals with that. We don't have to worry about reputation tags. We don't have to worry about result tokens. Have I monologued? No. All right, let's talk about connections. So connections, or the chorus as we're calling them in this game, these are the other characters that are going to exist that are like important to our characters that will exist as NPCs in this world. They will be the initial ones, the most important ones, essentially. We've decided that like some of these could be other gods of the Pantheon, because it's probably going to be more than just the four of us. So it might be good to have a couple of those spread throughout. But they can also be mortal connections as well. It doesn't have to be other deities. So does anyone have any idea off the cuff of like, here's somebody in my life that I can think of that's very important? Sid's already raising her hand.
I think I have to bring Apollo into this.
Okay.
Or whoever became Apollo into this. And again, it's a little, the mythologies are a little crossed on this. Some say that like, I mean, at the core of it, Apollo is essentially like the half brother of the Muses.
You will realize that this means there will be another Apollo on Fridays.
Oh shit! No, not the same though. Not the same. Although, I mean, that makes sense.
Same.
It's gonna be the same. God damn it. Yes.
We had a long-standing villain in our Friday game
named Apollo.
named Apollo.
And my character at the time inexplicably fucking hated him at all times. Even before it was revealed he was a villain. I thought maybe he, I guess along the same lines as Savi's character, might have been one of the first people that she like managed. Maybe even before, like maybe they kind of manifested their power right after that.
Okay.
But then once they manifested their power, you know, went along their own merry way and dropped her and, you know, became a dick. So maybe a little bit of tension there. Yeah.
I like it. I like it. All right. So welcome to the Pantheon, Apollo. So you can add that as a connection underneath
Cool.
yours.
I need to give him some sort of like really obnoxious rock star name, aka Apollo. What's a really obnoxious rock star name?
In Apollo, but
I mean, yeah.
No, hold on. What did he just do that, right?
Yeah.
He would just be
Apollo
that-
Jones or something.
Oh God. Yeah. Okay. You're right. God damn it. Fine. We're going with Apollo
Yeah,
Jones.
I mean, because we're all like, again, the world knows we're gods and knows like they're like our followers and stuff believe we are the incarnations of these deities. So like they're gonna refer to us as our deity names.
Damn it. Fine. Apollo Jones.
I thought we
Anybody
were
else?
doing a veil thing with.
So yes, so we're essentially saying that like there is like a veil to like magic, because I think we decided we want there to be like some element of like supernatural entities within this world and stuff. There is sort of a veil, mist, whatever you want to call it, that keeps humans from interacting with that. Deities sort of stride the line between the two, so we can be perceived by humans, obviously, and they can perceive our powers. But we also can perceive the supernatural world as well. So as part of this like fame thing, like they're aware that like we are not living secret lives as humans. Like part of our success and our fame comes from the fact that we perform these like miracles and are considered like deities as well. So yeah. But whether how much a human can perceive, I think also depends on like their level of belief and kind of commitment to that as well. Like they're gonna like there is room for doubt. Like not everyone is just like, well, they must be gods and stuff. Like I think there's like a level of like
Faith, that
faith
sort
that
of
you
thing.
have to have in the god in order to perceive their miracles or to understand them as miracles.
Cool.
So
Cool.
at least that's where I wanted to go. If y'all have different ideas on that, we can play around with
No,
those
I like
too.
that. That strides a nice little line and
Yeah.
lets us kind of play with that.
Yeah, because I don't think like I don't know, it didn't seem super interesting for me to do like the true superhero thing of like, here's my alter ego and then I take off my glasses and I'm a god and not go fight.
I mean, that's what
crime.
happens when I take off my glasses. I don't know about y'all. But...
Turn into a god. We know that's it. Okay, so does anybody else have any ideas for other deities I want to add to the pantheon? Okay, everybody can add one.
I think Sav and I might be adding the same one. I'm just taking a guess there, but there's definitely a line in between.
I don't know.
Well, that's gonna be the one I add then.
You go
ahead
first.
No, I said it first.
Okay. No, I'm gonna pick somebody completely unrelated to the god that I picked. Because I like drama. I want to add Nemesis.
Oh.
And
Okay.
I want Nemesis to be Hela's ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay. Add
Because
Nemesis
who
as
the
a connection.
fuck are you to tell me I'm arrogant? Of course I'm arrogant. Have you seen me?
Yeah, and these are
That's why
are
they broke up.
connections. These people that we're adding, these gods that we're adding, they will be our connections, so they will have some sort of strong connection to our characters. So like for Sid, you added Apollo, there's a strong connection between Calliope and or Meredith and Apollo.
I think
and then,
Hela
yeah.
and Nemesis used to date.
Okay.
And then Nemesis got real up on her high horse.
I love it.
I like it.
Val,
Okay.
did you say you wanted to keep it limited to one apiece?
No, you can add two. You get two connections to start with, though. right? Is that where?
That's
Or no? Do
including
we all get
mortals?
one connection to start with, Sid? I don't remember.
You can go up to 2. I think we limited it to 1 if like we had a lot of players because it's just a lot of
Okay.
people.
I think we
so
can
yeah,
do
we
2 though.
We usually do
two's
2.
fine for
Yeah.
a small
So
group.
you'll be able to create 2 connections. So you can do two gods to the pantheon if you want, but
Who's gifting subs?
who gifted
Who did-
subs? Anonymous.
Who did it?
gifted subs.
They anonymously.
Show
10
yourself.
of them. Who did it?
Reveal yourself.
Show
Gifter.
yourself. Thank you.
That's so
Thank you
friggin'
so much.
nice.
Thank you for the
Don't.
subscriptions. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Anon.
I shouldn't shame people for anonymously.
No,
gifting.
we're
We really
teasing.
appreciate it.
Thank you so
the-
much.
It's so nice.
So yes, you can add 2 if you want, but it's up to you.
Well, I definitely have one mortal one that's wildly important. And you
Yeah, I
guys-
assume your daughter, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? But you said you had an idea for somebody, a god you wanted to add to the.
Yeah. So you know how Joe is all about being a good dad?
Yeah.
It's because Odin was a terrible father.
Okay.
So I think Loki is.
You're gonna have 2 kids in the game.
Dad!
Well,
I love it.
The line all the way down, kid and a granddaughter. Yeah.
But I do like it as like, you've got your kid there and that like, you've got your other child on the.
Oh man,
pantheon.
and Loki probably hates Miranda so much.
Yeah.
Oh, I love a good jealousy arc.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love
Can't
that.
imagine Loki was that good of a dad either.
I mean, I screwed him up, so.
You didn't have
Joe?
a great example, Joe.
No, I will not call you Grandpa. You would earn that.
Okay.
I think
you know what?
Nemesis is. Sorry, this is going back. I just think Nemesis is also one of the ones that just starts going by their god name.
Probably.
I'm already rolling my eyes at this character. She barely exists.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a healthy relationship.
I'm scrolling through like Wikipedia side and like I don't have a good idea for another god. I need to go back to my Celtic gods then.
Okay, because we've done some Greek,
Oh, yes.
you're Celtic, got some Norse. What's something?
And I should say, like, for the stream and stuff, we are mostly sticking towards like European like gods at this point, not just because we don't want to step into areas that we don't feel comfortable representing. So maybe we'll have some guest stars to come in and who have interest in other cultures and stuff. But I didn't feel comfortable pulling from a culture that none of us were.
Yeah, we don't want to like misinterpret something or do something that's going to like be offensive, especially with like actual religions that people still have and hold dear to themselves.
Yeah.
We don't want to mess up people's. So we want to be respectful.
But I can trash on the Greek gods all day long.
It's
So
It's in the name.
Yeah.
I don't really want to put the Morgans.
Val, what if your
Excellent.
god connection has nothing to do with the Morgan's original pantheon?
Yeah, and that's why I was looking to see if there's anything interesting, but I didn't see anything interesting there. And I was looking for other gods.
Egyptian?
No, there was something I had an idea. We don't have any Roman gods in the pantheon, do we?
That's
Oh,
just-
you just want to piss me off, don't you?
Yeah,
No,
that's
we
it.
just
There-
don't.
We
there are no damn
don't
Roman
because they're just fucking Greek gods light, okay?
Listen, look.
What if you did like one of the fates?
Ooh,
That could be cool.
go on.
That was the end of the thought.
Still good.
I would say because they're it's right there in the name. It feels like people Morgan may have worked with in the past
Yeah.
because they kind of put that shit
Run in the
together.
same circles. Yeah.
And they crop up in a lot of pantheons too. I mean,
there's lots of versions of them.
the kindly ones, the Hecate. Yeah. In fact,
And there's 3 of them.
all of the pantheons that we're pulling from have the 3 ladies in them somewhere.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. If
Plus,
somebody else
there's
has
3
one
of
they
them,
wanna
and
add-
Morrigan seems to like that.
Yeah. It's a good number.
If somebody else has one they want to flesh out more while I'm doing my research here, we can.
I don't really know what to do with Loki. Like, I don't want to just Tom Hiddleston it, you know what I mean? But like that's
But-
Well, let's pick a
but you-
different Tom then.
Tom Bodette, perhaps?
Tom Bodette. Tom Hardy.
Ooh.
Tom Holland.
Go on.
I'm out of Toms.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of thinking like
Hanks.
I'm just
That
just
would be an
Googling
odd
Tom and seeing how many different.
No, because I bet
things
Tom
pop up.
Hanks is a good dad.
Tom
I'm
Morello.
thinking like a maybe
Tom
like
and
an
Jerry.
angry, like a William Dafoe-esque personality,
Ooh.
an
I would-
angular appearance, and just kind of
Actually, love it if Willem Dafoe was my
Intensity.
dad.
That would be Joe if Willem Dafoe was your dad.
I like that. I like that energy. Who can do
DC
a good Willem
producers,
Dafoe?
make him the Joker already.
That's an excellent idea.
Needs to happen.
Low key, but with Willem Dafoe energy is very fun.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Enjoying that. Thinking we should get another human in here.
Yeah.
Or like a mermaid or something.
I was actually thinking, my daughter was,
Oh right.
so when I was younger, I had basically a tryst with this beautiful woman who, unbeknownst to my young self at the time, was either like a sea goddess or a mermaid or a siren.
Or a nymph of some kind.
Yeah, yeah. And then in typical mythological fashion, 9 months later, I get a basket with a baby on my doorstep, and that just changed his life entirely. So Miranda has, I was thinking some mildly perceptible aquatic features, like her skin is a little bit iridescent, a little bit scaly, maybe her eyes are a little bit too big and a little bit far set. You know, you wouldn't notice it at all from a distance, and I guess most people maybe wouldn't notice it, period. But like if you guys sat in a room with her, you'd be like, you're kind of a fish lady, aren't you?
I like that.
Does Calliope have a current client?
She has several current clients.
One in particular that stands out?
I'm thinking.
Chris Angel.
Yep, that's it. I'm bringing Chris Angel in. Yep. Mind freak.
Trying to decide if Hello would love or hate Chris Angel. She probably loves that guy.
All right. I think I'm gonna go. I think I know who I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with Mars.
Ooh.
You mean Aries?
I'm gonna go with Mars.
Aries.
He rebranded.
He
As
would,
a
too,
professional,
man.
Meredith will recommend that is a misguided rebranding.
I mean, the Greeks were great, but the Romans did war.
You really want to come at me right now, Cena? You really, really want to come for me right now?
No.
It's been a day. You really don't want to do this right now.
It is gonna cause you distress if I go with Mars instead of Aries. I just wanted to branch out a little bit from all the Greek that we had.
You
in
can,
this.
yeah, it's fine. Go ahead.
Otherwise, I'll just put Mickey Mouse. I mean, basically.
No.
Okay,
No.
take Mars. It's fine. If those are my choices, for the love of God, take Mars.
I'm gonna miss Cthulhu.
Lies.
All right, so we'll go with him.
I'll send you the clip of Goof.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's terrifying. I'll find it.
Yeah, please do send me that.
No problem.
Okay. And yeah, I think Mars is like is like the rival to Morgan. I almost went with Mercury instead because it's got a financial gain.
That is a
but-
thought.
Maybe I go with Mercury instead.
Between Hermes.
I'm not going to do this. No, I'll stick with Mars. Okay.
The instinct to do another family member is
Strong.
so strong.
Yeah.
I
Just
love
wanna add
family
more,
drama.
more gods to the mix.
Well, I want to add a monster.
Oh.
Cool.
Fenrir.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Bella's weird brother.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, that is another. Yeah.
He's
yeah,
also Loki's kid.
Yep. Yep. And also the snake.
I was about to say, yeah, was that the big wolf or the big snake?
Jormungandr.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jormungandr, also Loki's kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did really great with him, Joe.
Good
Jesus.
Job.
Throwing kids
Look,
all
I did
around.
the best I could. All right. I mean, Thor was easy. Thor raised himself. Okay. I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, but he shouldn't have had to, Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
I'm trying to be better. Okay.
I do. Yeah, I'm gonna do Fenrir.
I dig
And
it.
we don't even talk about Balder.
We
don't.
don't talk about Balder.
Don't talk about Balder.
Man, I don't know if y'all played God of War though. Oh boy, was Balder an amazingly charismatic, super toxic villain. Like, wow. Not sponsored.
Not yet.
Yeah, not with that attitude. No.
Fenrir's gotta be like hella old, right? Ah,
Oh yeah.
Well,
did
how
a
old is
pun
Hela?
accidentally.
Old.
I'm so funny. Cause I feel like, I mean, Mansters probably work a little differently, right? Like, are they also just getting reincarnated at the same time we are? Or are they just like around?
Fenrir's a Labrador.
I imagine they're just
it's
around.
reincarnated as fucking Airbud.
Yeah, I imagine they're just around. They're just not perceived by. They just can't interact
Okay.
with humans.
So he's just like waiting for us to keep showing back up.
Yeah.
Oh, he could absolutely be a Labrador then.
It's just a dog.
Like
So
an
is somebody gonna have to
immortal
play your
Labrador.
dog?
You're talking
My
dog.
brother. Thank you. Only I get to call him that.
Dude, it's 2022. Nobody would even bat an eye at it. You know what I
It's
mean?
true.
He's a dog
It's
man.
The dog is also your parents' kid. They just treated him like a kid. Yeah, this dog's my bro.
Our pets are family.
Yeah,
That's our family.
yeah.
Or he's a werewolf. I could bring another werewolf into another game.
Oh,
Yep.
Boy.
I have a werewolf thing. It's that I really like werewolves. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So he's like old as hell, right? Like, I
Yeah.
can't. I'm gonna have to use another idiom.
Yeah, you can't keep doing that.
He's very extremely old. Like,
Yes. quite old.
Just gonna put
Fucking
question. I'm gonna
old.
put a question mark. He's eh?
I was debating whether I want to bring in somebody from a different panel because we've got a lot of Norse and Greek representation here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
One Celt.
Seems about right for the people who are on this call, though.
Yeah, that does seem about right for who's on this call. I was just thinking if there are other.
You know, the Greeks invented gods.
I don't think that's true.
Don't.
The root of the word. No.
I don't.
I think the Greeks thought they did.
The Greeks think that they invented everything. That is fact.
But she gets to get away with saying that. All I said was the Romans did war well.
No, they didn't, Sita.
The thing is about our channel, Sid gets to do whatever she wants, and the rest of us
Somehow.
I don't think that's just the channel.
And the rest of us suffer. That's not true. I also get to do whatever I want. But I also know the passwords to everything.
Hey!
What about Leshy?
Ooh.
Oh!
Missed it. What'd you say?
Leshy.
Leshy.
It's a Slavic deity.
They based some monsters in The Witcher off of those.
That could be cool.
Big tree monsters.
Gotta love a big old tree monster.
I want to steal so many things from Neil Gaiman. I've had to dial myself back from that a lot.
Yeah.
Establish that is not. I'm just writing different words than I'm trying to do. There we go. Like me.
I'm just going down a rabbit hole here of Wikipedia entries.
Oh no, there's an actual Apollo Jones. They are a Tony Award-winning little child actor, so I might have to change that last name. Apollo James. Never trust a person with two first names.
Oh. I know who this kid is. I thought that name sounded vaguely familiar.
Right? I had to double check.
Yeah. What a little cutie.
Yeah. I think they were in like Matilda and a couple other things.
I think he was in Hunchback.
Um,
Recently. I think. I'd have to do some Googling.
I think I just need they're just human, but I think that could actually be really fun because, you know, we have attained this celebrity and this shooting star on the rise being deities. I like the idea of she just has a client who they're just legit fucking good and
Just very talented.
just fucking very talented. Yeah.
A Swedish pianist or something.
Just someone baller. Yeah, that's what we're gonna go with.
My brain wants to say Chris Daughtry so bad. And I don't know where that came from. My brain was like, say Chris Daughtry.
Just do it. Chris Daughtry, I don't know if you know this, is actually a deity, and they put that in your brain just now. They knew what was going on.
Wow. I guess I could have it worse. Because Gonna play a paladin of Chris Daughtry.
Oh, God.
Tracks for me.
All right. I'm done looking at gods. We'll just stick with what I got. I was thinking about a human who would be important to Morgan. I imagine some sort of business contact. Somebody that I want to do like a personal assistant. Maybe I want to do a personal assistant. I feel like I feel like most of us need personal assistants.
Sid could really use a personal assistant.
Same.
I mean,
We all just hire the same assistant.
yeah.
Pan-dimensional butler.
I really just need to come up with a name. I don't care. Somebody else can figure out the characterization of them.
I don't know my Celtic very well. Do they do anything with like golems or homunculi or anything along those lines?
No, not that I'm aware of. I'd have to do my research on that. I'm not entirely sure.
Can't think of anything.
But I think this person's just going to be human. I'm going to name them Sabrina.
The teenage witch.
Yes. Sabrina O'Malley. That's
O'Malley
about the most
Alley Cat.
Irish surname. I can think of.
Abraham
Murphy?
DeLacy.
Burn. I'll go with
Giuseppe Casey.
Burn. All right. Make her slightly younger.
All right.
All
I got
right.
a question for you guys. Since this is my first session with y'all, did we want to, at any point, I don't know, I forget how long we were planning on playing tonight, honestly.
We're gonna take a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to do that here in a second. Good call. Yeah, I just wanted to get these done first. So everybody has their connections. I just wanted to go around the board and say what everyone had again. So we have Mars, who is Morgan's rival. We have Apollo James, who is Meredith's former client / half brother. Nemesis, who is Hella's ex. Miranda, who is that's Joe's daughter, right?
Yep. Oh, I need to put that in here, don't I?
Yeah.
Relationship.
Sabrina, who's going to be Morgan's personal assistant. What were you doing here, Sid?
Oh, I'm gonna go with Fable. They're Meredith's top client.
Okay. And then Fenrir, who is Hella's older brother, and Loki, who is Odin's son. All right.
We're gonna have so much family drama.
Mm-hmm.
The only other thing, now you have descriptions, and the only other thing you have to add there is that we get to decide, essentially, since there are connections, is what they think about us. So it has that thing there that says, like, I think blank is, and then you get to put in what you think.
Oh.
And then when the other person comes in and does, we're going to divvy these out and decide who's going to be playing who as connections.
We'll use that
We will use that.
as a starting point.
I think the difference we're going to do here is normally all of us would pick one. I think we're all going to get two because we're going to just divide these evenly. So everybody's
Sure.
going to be playing their character and two other NPCs. Should be fun. All right. Yeah, we're going to go and take a break since we are at the halfway point. Thank you for watching. I know we were getting real nitty gritty there for a minute, and there was a lot of typing.
Chat loves that shit.
Yeah, we really appreciate y'all. We're gonna come back. We're done with character stuff. I think we'll go ahead and call dibs on the characters that we want when we come back, and then we will talk about some world building stuff. Sound good?
Yeah,
hello.
good.
All right. Thanks everyone for hanging out. We'll see you in a minute, so stay tuned.
How long?
Welcome back, Internet. Thanks for hanging out with us while we took our break. We're here and we're feeling happy, and we're going to finish our session 0. I am going to take us off of the feeling
No.
happy music, though.
Oh,
Just letting us know.
No, I said no. I could put it back on anytime I want.
it's true.
I'm gonna start making that a chat redemption where people can spend channel points
Can
and I'll play
spend channel
feeling
points.
happy.
Yes.
Just at any given point.
And I'll play feeling happy.
Please. Oh, that's amazing. I will watch every stream and just use all of my
I can't
channel
imagine
points
like
for
us in
that.
like a very dramatic moment having a very
I'm gonna
serious
make
heart-to-heart
what I'll do
conversation.
is make a clip of that drop and I'll put it on the stream deck. So I can
and
just
just play that
hit it.
in the middle of a conversation. God.
for the chat.
That makes me wonder if there's like a really sad lo-fi cover of Feeling Happy,
Probably.
some like downbeat thing, and you're just
We
like,
can.
I'm feeling happy.
It's the exact same song but in a minor key.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So where we finished off before we took our break, we had finished putting our characters together. And we had made our connections. So what we're going to do now is lay claim to who's going to be playing what connection, and then we will talk a little bit about world stuff and setting stuff for the rest of the game. So I don't know how we want to do this. Because since Sita, you haven't played the system before, essentially everyone will play 2 connections, 2 NPCs, 2 of the chorus is what we renamed them as. I keep forgetting that. Not include, and you can pick from any of them that are not connections of yours, chorus members of yours. So you would be able to pick to anybody except Miranda and Loki, and then preferably probably a different one for like not 2 under the same person.
Right.
So does anyone have any that are just really speaking to them that they want to play?
Since I allowed for their creation, I think I need to play Mars.
Okay,
I like that.
you can claim Mars then.
Yes.
What color did I pick? I did black and yellow. Okay.
Can I be
I'll take
Apollo?
Fenrir.
Oh,
Do
boy.
it. Do it. You won't. Do
Go
it.
for it.
Sav, can I take Fenrir?
Yeah.
I am gonna take Nemesis.
Yes.
Damn it!
Yes.
I was gonna
yes.
take
Fight
Nemesis.
with me. Fight with me.
Damn it. Fine.
We play really good X's.
Sid, be my dad. Then you can fight with me too.
do. Should I be Loki? Can I be Loki?
Be my dad. Be my bad dad.
I will be your bad dad. Your rad bad dad. Not Chad.
Can I know a little more about Fable?
So, Fable is a quintessential fucking rock star. Just skyrocketed to fame because they're fucking awesome. But had a very a really great relationship. Like Meredith really bolstered and helped cultivate their career.
Okay. Well, you say rock star, but like what? Actually a rock star, and even then, like,
Actually, a rock star, yes. Yeah, they are a musician.
Okay. I might do that.
They are baby. They're feeling 22.
Yeah, I think I might do that, and I might attempt a British accent. We'll see.
I love it. Do it.
So that means, Savannah, you're gonna have to do Sabrina.
Or Miranda.
Yeah.
Well, I can't do Sabrina.
Oh, you can't do Sabrina. That's right. That's what's left. Okay, so I'll be Sabrina. And you'll be Miranda.
I'll be Miranda. I can play a 16-year-old. I feel good about
Play a
that.
16-year-old.
She's she's a sweetheart, kind of hide in her hoodie kind of character.
Oh, she's a rose.
Yeah, I can do that. My characters tend to end up being troublemakers, so that's probably the direction that it's gonna go.
It related to, well, this family. So yeah, I think that's it tracks. I mean, for whatever reason, and I haven't decided why or how yet, but she did manage to convince him to do the TikTok thing, and I think he probably knew that that was gonna explode his whole plan of trying to stay hidden.
Perfect. Awesome. So those are our connections. So I will be playing Nemesis and Miranda. Savannah will be playing Apollo and Sabrina.
You know I'm gonna make this fool sound like All Might, right?
Yeah, I know you are.
Yeah.
Sid, you will be playing Mars and Loki. And Sita, you will be playing Fable and Fenrir.
I need to play a dog. This is
Yeah, play a dog.
That's been great. So yeah, we'll fill out our descriptions. I think I'm the only one that needs to do that. I'm clicking on other things. So let's talk about world building stuff, setting. So I don't even know where. Does anybody have an idea of like what city they wanted to exist in?
I know mine pretty specifically.
Yeah. You were gonna do Portland?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was thinking like San Francisco.
San Fran.
I don't know if I'd like, because I don't know if I want to just do like Silicon Valley or something like. I think I want to go like San Francisco.
I feel like Meredith's either got to stick to Vegas, like do like Vegas talent, or probably be in LA.
Yeah,
I was actually
was
also
assuming-
thinking LA.
I was thinking one of you
Yeah.
was gonna pick LA, so that's why I also didn't go with LA.
That's fair. That makes sense. Well, we'll do LA. We can both be in LA.
Yeah, it makes sense for them to be based in the same
No, he wants to
city.
be in like Montana, or
No.
Fenrir could be in Montana.
Having
also
fun.
open space to run.
Just running.
Yeah,
being a
that's a
good
thing
boy.
too.
Okay,
So like some of our connections are with us, and then some of them, some of the chorus. Some of the chorus are with us, and then some of the chorus aren't. Right?
yeah,
Yeah,
Like Loki's not hanging out with me. That's
no, it's just connection doesn't necessarily mean that, like they're hanging out with you. It just means that they are connected to you somehow.
In your orbit.
They're in your orbit. So we have San Francisco, we have LA, we have Portland, all on the map essentially as established places. What else system-wise do we want to add in? Oh, we didn't talk about our friggin' domains. We did not talk about our domains because that's going to be. Where are we putting those on the sheet?
I put mine up where the like background
right.
would have been.
Gotcha. So
We also got to do inner conflicts.
we do. Do we decide those at the beginning, or do we decide those during the first inner conflict cycle?
I don't remember. I thought we
we-
started
we-
out with them.
You can have an idea, but you don't have to finalize them until we get to the first, what do you call it, upkeep.
Okay. I'll probably just leave those for now and establish those through play then. But if you have an idea, obviously put them in. Because what is everybody's domain? I don't even remember which domain I picked.
Creation.
Okay. Creation.
Love.
Love.
Sorry, my mute hotkey's not working, so I have to click buttons. And I'm trying not to crunch in everybody's ear. I'm doing life and death.
Okay.
Do a duel.
I'm doing a duel. It's time to duel.
Duel.
See, I don't know whether to go with Destiny or Strife. I think I'm gonna...
Do we? I mean, I know we talked about it. Have we explained at all to chat
No.
or anybody like what these domains are, what they represent, and like what it means when you pick two of them?
Yeah, so domains we are replacing, reskinning the mechanic of Good Society, which was the backgrounds, right?
Family backgrounds, yeah.
Family backgrounds,
your
yeah.
family backgrounds. So there are 5 domains that we have outlined as your godly domains, and they are sort of dualistic in each. So we have life and death, which is to foster new life or to ensure its natural end. Love and strife, which is to foster harmony or to ensure conflict. Truth and lies, to foster integrity or to ensure duplicity. Creation, destruction, to foster inspiration or to ensure entropy. And destiny or chaos, just to foster certainty or to ensure possibility. And basically what's going to happen is during our upkeep portion, when in Good Society we would decide like if we earned a positive or a negative reputation. Instead we will decide whether we essentially a positive or negative tag based on how we upheld the tenets of our domain, rather than necessarily how society has reacted to us. So the you gain a positive tag if you upheld the ideology of your domain in a way that compromised your desires or made an impact on the public in the face of significant adversity. You gain a negative tag if you acted on your desires in a way that goes against the ideology of your domain, or if you caved to adversity for the sake of saving face. So whichever domain you pick is going to kind of dictate how we interpret those first parts. So upholding your ideology or going against your ideology depends on which one you're picking. So if you pick love, then your ideology is to foster harmony. If you pick chaos, then your ideology is to ensure possibility, to keep, to ensure, like, to pursue chaos. If you pick both, so in Savannah's case, you pick life and death, so to foster your life and to ensure its natural end, you have to maintain a balance of the two. If you go too far one way or another, then you are not upholding your ideology. So there's a spectrum rather than necessarily being a binary, because fuck the binary and
fuck the binary
games. So everybody's given the option. You can pick one. You can pick one or the other, or you can pick both, and it depends on that. That is going to uphold the kind of how you have to behave during the game, and we're keeping it very loose. There isn't like set guidelines, so we'll have to sort of interpret that for ourselves and each other. So yeah, I don't know which one I'm gonna pick. I feel like I came into this being the most indecisive, and I'm the one that's running.
You are technically 3 characters, so that makes sense.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with Destiny, since nobody else is on that track. I don't know if I want to go Destiny Chaos, though. I think I might go Destiny Chaos and do both. Fuck it. Let's do that.
it somehow talked Joe into ignoring his destiny for a while.
Yeah.
By the way, sorry to everybody watching me. I got a fucking excuse me. I got a gosh darn sunburn.
You can swear all you want, Sita.
Fucking sunburn.
Fuck.
It's peeling and it
shit.
itches. I'm sorry.
That's the worst.
Okay, cool. So I want to make sure we got that. I don't think we've missed anything else on the character side. So yeah, I'm looking at anything else. So we've decided in our setting here, we decided about mythological creatures existing in this veil, kind of, and clearly we've introduced some creatures already that exist. We've talked about where the game is going to take place. Is there anything anybody wants to add that is, we have the remaining of the hour, however much we want to take to establish anything else about the world we want to? Anything about, has anybody had any ideas about the Covenant and things they would like to add to that? That can also be a conversation here. Any other factions that exist? I don't think we're not really introducing, I don't think, the faction rules to this, because we decided that might be a little much to try to keep track of. But there are other organizations, groups of people that exist out there that we can identify, define if we want to.
Would it be fair to say there's probably other gods that aren't part of our personal circles that are still out there, or is it just the ones that we picked?
I was kind of thinking it's just us.
Okay.
Not to say that there haven't been others, but
maybe different pantheons, not necessarily like us as a pantheon, not the pantheons we come from, but maybe like groups of gods come up at different times.
Maybe, yeah.
So when we're not active, others are, or something.
Yeah. We could do that. I mean, yeah. Because I guess if we're limiting ourselves, like we're saying we're in a specific region, an area, like if this isn't going to be so like international, then there could be other pantheons, other groups of gods that exist across the world that we just keep our distance from. We've just settled down and
this one just came to me. What if we're the only ones left?
yeah, well, that too. So those are essentially like the two options, is like, are we the only ones left? Or are we just one group out of many?
Can we maybe leave that open right now? Like
I'm
maybe
okay
if
with leaving
that
that
comes up more in play, like maybe if we want to explore that a little more, like an option of more international stuff.
Yeah, I'm okay with leaving that open.
Well,
Because it's like not necessarily important, like it's not necessary to the story that we're trying to tell whether or not these other groups exist. At least not right now. I'm sure there might be something else that comes up, and we might decide that that's something we want to explore. Thinking about anything else. Because we need probably other elements to the Covenant as well. If we don't need to establish anything else about the setting, we can flesh that out. Another thing we could talk about is generally like, what are like god powers limited to? Like, I assume all of us can't unmake the universe at the snap of our fingers.
do we want to look at, like, from the magic expansion, like, do we want to look at the magic collaboration?
Sure.
And kind of flesh that out?
Yeah, that could work. Do you have the link for that, Sid?
I think I should. One moment.
Yeah, so the way that, because Original Good Society doesn't have any magic or powers or anything like that. Essentially, anytime there's any sort of conflict, we introduce it. You just say, here's what I want to do. spend a token or say like offer up the token to do it, and the other person gets to essentially negotiate for that the use of that token or for that action to occur. In the expansion to Good Society, with the magical elements of it, they added this additional mechanic which gives some loose rules to using magic, but it still keeps it mostly narrative. It's a lot of like, you get to decide as the player when you're doing it, like, does this go good for me or does this go bad for me? And so you can purposely choose this goes bad for me, in which case you get to take a token instead of spending one. If you're saying it goes good for you, then you spend the token as usual, and because you're trying to get the effects that you're going for. And then the player that is directly affecting then gets a list of questions to ask one question of the player using the ability. And I think that'll work pretty well here. So is that the table of magics and magical collections?
Yeah, the PP&P.
Okay, let me expand this. So yes, so in the table of magic, and I guess we can do the collaboration part here. Yeah, let's just do this, because essentially it's magic. All right. I'm just going to write down our answers on my notes, and just to hold us accountable for that. So, magical collaboration. Thank you for reminding me about this, Sid. I forgot it existed.
Oh, no, it's all good.
So, what does magic look like? Is the question in this world. So is the first question. The option that we're given is either glowing, vibrant, echoing, and grand, dark, silent, crumbling, and misty, or swirling, tactile, aromatic, and lingering.
My inclination is that would be a personal choice.
Well, so it kind of gives you like a broad perspective on it. I mean, we can say it looks different for different people, but I guess the idea is that we're all essentially tapping into the same thing, just for different purposes. Like the effects are different, the cause, whatever we're pulling from, is the same. So, or do we want to go with that? Like it's completely different for every person.
I mean, maybe a bit of both. Maybe there's like a certain underlying quality, like a sound, like the sound of reality ripping, but also whatever else, whatever trappings that your divine touch puts on it.
Okay.
I feel like overall everything that we've all sort of discussed is it's very subtle.
Yeah.
Subtle enough that there is at least some plausible deniability for the unfaithful to be like, whatever, they're full of it.
So like maybe the magic is subtle, but the effects can be extreme. So like the ability to accomplish like amazing things, but the effect of doing it is sort of clouded and abstract and a little, so that to me kind of like goes along with that kind of middle, like the dark, silent, crumbling, misty. Like it's just kind of like the magic that we do is mostly veiled and difficult to perceive for mortals, but we can do things that like the effects of it can be whatever we want.
Very far-reaching.
Yeah. Is everybody okay with that, at least being it? So less of like casting a magic spell and shooting a blast of like laser and something at people or something like that, but like you could make a person disintegrate like
And have never existed.
Yeah, or something. Yeah. Okay, let's do magic is subtle, effects are varied and extreme. We do probably, so the next one is like, what does magic require? Wands, books, scrolls. I don't think we're necessarily doing that.
Requires that you be a god.
Yeah.
Check.
I think instead I want to ask the question is like, where's the limit? Because I do think there needs to be some sort of like defined like limit on our powers. Is the limit
like
just the concept of belief? Like our magic only has effect on people that have some like faith for us, some belief that it'll work, or is it just some like, is it like a self-imposed limit, or is it like part of the covenant or something? They're just, we make these rules that we can and cannot do certain things that we have to follow.
Is the covenant just an agreement, or is it something more
Binding?
Yeah.
I was imagining that as something fairly, I don't know. I mean, I guess we could say that it's not like it is an agreement, but with the understanding that like if you break that agreement,
We break you.
yeah, then you are no longer a part of the gang and we murder you.
Or something even bigger and scarier than us comes and gobbles you up.
Maybe. Yeah, or I mean, or every other member of the Cub. I mean, essentially, we have 8 gods now that are part of this. So if one person breaks rank, then
You
7
do like
others.
a John Wick and just put a bounty out on him.
Yeah. So we can. I mean, there are 2 options. Either we say that there's some sort of like magical limiter on us that we have all agreed to, or there is some sort of, or it is just a contract.
I kind of
Maybe?
like. I think there's a middle ground there in that, like, maybe the limiter is not like we're physically incapable of killing each other, but that there is some sort of magic on it where, like, if we were to do something like that, everybody knows it happened.
Okay.
I still feel like though you could just choose to do. I mean, like, surely we can't go back in time and rewrite things. You know, I feel like there has to be a limit where even the consequences of punishment, like whatever, I'm just going to go back way back in time. I'm going to undo all sorts of stuff. I'm going to recreate the entire universe to my liking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking that.
Yeah.
I think there probably are some actual limits on our power. Like, I don't think time travel should be on the table.
I don't think so.
Too complicated.
Because that gets very complicated.
Maybe some kind of like cool memory magic where we can go back into memories or something, but I don't think actually going back and rewriting time.
Again, like for the sake of like narrative, like storytelling and stuff, I'm actually even less inclined to do like memory magic, because I don't want to be in a situation where we make mistakes and we have some like easy out to like to a scene or something like that.
I have a thought.
Okay, good.
So maybe the limit to our magic is as individuals. And maybe that's why we created the covenant, because if one individual fucks up, then the combined efforts of the remaining people within the Pantheon could do some serious fucking damage. But we don't even touch that unless something very dire has happened.
So more like the power that we all have is like when we are all together, we have access to like a greater, again, this is going very much into the Eternals sort of thing, but like we have like more power together than we do separately.
Well, I mean, I think when you're dealing with people with powers, that's just true. Like, if one of us really fucks up and everyone else goes after them, I mean,
Yeah. Well,
I
because
think
I
that's
also
probably
liked,
the agreement, right? Like,
I liked the idea too of all of us having some sort of like thing that is like the thing we are, like the power that we pivot towards. Not saying that we can't do a little bit more than that, but like, you know, Hella talks to spirits and stuff. Maybe most of her, maybe like her gift is more of that, like bridging the gap between, uh, like the veil sort of thing, and conjuring spirits and stuff. I know the Morrigan in Celtic folklore is a shape shifting goddess, so maybe like mostly it's like shape shifting and transmogrification and stuff is their,
everybody's
like,
got a specialty.
like everybody has a specialty sort of thing, unless like we can all do anything all the time. So that's another option too. Essentially we all pick like one thing that we are best at. But there's a lot of ways we can go. I want to establish it because it can also be kind of like, I don't want any of us to come in here with an idea of like, this is how I think magic should work, and then somebody else does something that's like way out there. It's like, whoa. So okay, that undoes what I was kind of planning then.
I like your suggestion. I think that it makes sense that whether we're mortals or gods, we would find something that we're good at and work and be the best at that.
Yeah.
Not to say we can't do other stuff, but
Right. But yeah.
But almost like one thing that we can do that doesn't really require like a lot, like to do them, like to use the magic rules and stuff, and anything else like is something where we're gonna have to like be paying a price
put in the
to
effort.
use it. Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
So I don't want to get too mechanical with it, but that seemed to be a good point, because we are again deities and we should be able to act as such, and I don't want anybody to feel like, well, every time that I want to do something cool and godlike, I have to use a token.
Well, I think it's just like, I mean, just like any other game where if you're doing something that like takes extra effort, or you're doing something that is like a little bit out of your wheelhouse, you gotta
Yeah.
pony up and, you know, spend the token or roll the dice or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a strange way to do it at all.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, everybody can think about what it is that they're good at. What their
Ghosts.
specialty might be. Ghosts. And it can be vague and stuff. like-
Inspiring people, lighting a fire under their ass.
yeah.
Making the best gifts.
Okay, Santa.
I was so ready
I
for you
know,
to say like the food from the food truck is like,
Oh
Yeah.
no, it definitely is. That's primarily
Like
it. I was
otherworldly.
thinking, like, you know, like he also made Mjolnir, you know, and
Like knowing what people want, like being able to
Yeah.
give people the
Yeah.
things that they want. Yeah.
oh,
maybe not
Lucifer.
even knowing what
Oh.
Oh no!
no.
One specific iteration of Lucifer. Tell me what you desire.
Yeah, and I think Morgan's almost the opposite of that, of like making things into what she wants, like being able to shape things into other things. So
It'd be hard for him to make a gift for then.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I already have that.
What do you get for the woman who has everything?
Mm.
Okay, but so we'll say, I think a couple of limiters that I think we should make, and maybe this is part of
No time travel.
the covenant. Do we say that's part of the covenant, or do we say that's part of the like magical collaboration?
I think we can say that's part of the collaboration. Just no time travel.
Okay,
'cause
just no
that's
time
just the-
travel.
Yeah, let's just not do time travel. It's too much work. I've done that before.
Yeah, we can't do a time loop with there's no GM or something. Like that's just gonna get really, really messy. So yeah, no time travel.
No destroying the entire universe
Mm-mm.
and remaking it in your own image. That's petty.
That's bullshit.
Maybe just like, I guess it's on scale though. I was gonna say no unmaking, but
It's more like no time travel or like reality altering sort of stuff is kind of like where we're going on like the line. Like, none of us can say at any moment. It's just like I'm just gonna say that never existed.
But killing is on the table. Just not
Killing
each
is
other.
on the table. I think killing is probably more like words about like how we deal with killing of mortals and like that's probably more in line with the covenant and what we have agreed to. Like, as
Yeah, I
far as
was
our
more just
recording
asking
is
as
concerned.
players.
Yeah, I'm fine with
We're
murder.
good with murder.
We all know my stance is being very pro murder.
You're
on this
extremely
channel.
pro murder.
Yeah, extremely pro murder. Yes.
I'm
what
gonna
about a
really
little?
regret saying these things.
PGK endorses murder
Honestly,
tonight at 9.
worse people have been elected president, so.
I'm gonna end up on a clip on like Fox fucking News with like
Good.
kids on stream like are watching these Twitch streams these days, and they're looking at clips like this, and it's me on there with my big stupid face going, "I'm very pro murder."
I'll fight Tucker Carlson.
I would fight Tiger Carlson regardless of that happening.
I was
fight him
going
right
for
now.
more of a Rush Limbaugh, but that's not like.
He's also dead.
He's also dead, not on Fox News anymore. But that's probably the last time that I actually had to watch Fox News.
I only know about Tucker Carlson because he's super into testicle tanning.
Oh my god.
That's
Sita, I have a great episode
Sita-
of a podcast you can listen to.
I'm going back to my cave.
Yeah, do not Google Tucker Carlson
No.
testicle tanning.
No,
do not
it.
do it.
Absolutely do it.
Tucker's testicle tanning.
Oh. So how about a little minor spatial warping?
Like
You know what I mean?
teleportation?
Yeah, teleportation or pocket dimensions or like my Winnebago's bigger
fine,
on the
like-
inside kind of thing.
I think that's
Yeah,
fun.
I think that's okay. I think it's more of like reality, like well, I'm thinking like reality altering. I'm thinking about like mostly like changing timelines, that sort of
I think
thing.
we're talking
it
about,
kind of
like-
wraps into like
permanent reality altering.
yeah.
Like no easy outs for fuck ups, basically.
Yeah, that's
So
really
no
what it
time
is.
travel.
But like the
no.
but like the inside of my backpack is much bigger than the outside.
Yeah, and I think we're just gonna kind of generally put this under like no easy outs, because I think
Because that's not interesting.
I think a lot of it is like again the time travel, the memory erasal, which I cannot spell. Is erasal?
Erasure.
Erasure.
Erasure. Okay, that's what's getting me. Thank you.
No problem.
In masks, that power suite would be memory manipulation.
Yeah, so like no time travel, no memory erasure, no reality alteration. And again, not that we can't, if we agree that like under a very specific situation that like, oh, this might be interesting for this story, maybe we can agree that something like that would be okay. Like this is, but I don't want to feel like that's our go-to.
That would
like,
have to be a group project.
yeah. I don't like the idea of us being able to like undo a mistake that we made by erasing somebody's memory. So
That's cool.
Rather have Meredith have to convince them to look the other way.
I mean, some charming. You should be able to charm somebody, right? Go look away. Go
Is
take a
Meredith
break.
charming or is Meredith scary? I'm not quite sure yet. We'll figure it out.
Probably depends on the day.
You should go take a break.
Mhm.
So we've
A permanent
decided,
break.
as far as magical collaborations, we've said like mortals can't see can't perceive magic, but they can see its effects. Do we want to say like because we're talking about the ability that like the way that faith plays into it. do we want to have there be some sort of like, if you don't believe in it, you can't be harmed by it, or is that going too far?
I feel like there's way too many atheists and cynics in the world for that. We wouldn't be very good gods if that was the case.
That's fair. Okay, we won't put that in there. If there's anything else we need to add with the magical collaboration?
Well, you mentioned faith, and I was thinking for a while, like the amount of faith, the amount of followers might affect your magic. But I honestly, I feel like the way that the domains are kind of built in, that works. Like if you're fulfilling your domain,
Yeah,
you probably have more followers, which grant you more of that worship, which gives you more tokens.
yeah, and the domain also, like the positive and the negative also is tied into your impact on the public as well. So like you can get that from either following your domain or impacting the public, and then you get good things and bad things from that. And I'm excited to see the positive and negative reps come in, because we haven't really talked about those on the stream, but we came up with some really good names for these.
They're really fun.
Yeah.
Including things like Satanic Panic,
Memed to death.
memed to death. So I'm very excited
pleased with them.
for those.
Audited. No one likes an audit.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that'll play in the best, is like the strength or the failing of your following.
I can't really think of anything else that the magic needs.
Yeah, I think
I'm sure there's a billion things that we'll think of later.
Yeah. Did anyone have any ideas that popped to their mind as things we want to add to our covenant? I feel like we should have at least a couple things on this list, even if we're going to add more that come up in play. But that's going to give us
paying debts.
Huh?
I'm sorry. Maybe something about paying debts.
How so?
I don't know. If you owe a debt to another god, you're going to pay it eventually, you know? Debts are binding, even if you evade them for a while. I don't know.
I mean, I think it would be good to have the covenant have some kind of like quid pro quo understanding. Like if you ask somebody to do something for you, expect them to do the same.
Yeah. I think is that kind of where you were thinking, Sita?
That's how I understood it.
Okay.
It's not exactly like a don't steal from each other, but just a bit more than just don't kill each other. You know, a little polite society.
Mm-hmm.
Something fun could be like, do not directly interfere with the goings on of another god, because I mean that could be misconstrued in so many fun ways. Like, I'm not directly interfering.
I like that.
But no direct interference in the
what's a more official way of saying shenanigans?
Because I was thinking the matters or the business.
Business sounds good.
Yeah.
And probably the faith too. The worshipers don't mess with other people's worshipers.
I was gonna say something similar. Yeah, like no poaching.
Mm-hmm. No pooping in my Cheerios.
That's verbatim what's on the covenant, actually. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, if Joe put it in there, yeah. If they drug him to one of these meetings and made him add something to the covenant and be like, don't shit my Cheerios.
So is that more like all right, so we're not saying necessarily like no, how far is that extending as far as like interfering with other with the worshippers.
I was
of
really
the-
just thinking, like, if you know that Stephen is in my congregation, don't start leaving notes on his bathroom mirror like, hey, it'd be really cool if you worshipped me instead.
That would qualify. Yeah, mirror notes is
No
direct
poaching.
interference.
No direct
Yeah.
poaching. If people change their minds, they change their minds. But don't go to my humans and shit talk me. Those are my humans.
my humans.
Sir, I'm not coming
I worked
into
really
your
hard for those
I'm
humans.
not coming into your yard and changing your dog's food. Like,
And I think that has room to be played around with too, because like I'm not going to go mess with your followers, but per se, I might have one of my followers going to do that.
yeah, or what if
Yeah,
they
well, my followers
accidentally
are
see
your
me do something
followers.
super cool?
And they like
Yeah,
me
that might
better.
happen. Yeah.
It leaves room to be petty,
Mm-hmm.
which I think
We
is
all-
what a
we-
lot
we-
of this is going to be.
Yeah, we've just got to leave enough room for the petty, I think. Yeah. Can we just put that in the covenant? Leave room for the petty? Leave room for Jesus! Leave room for the petty.
No direct
put something
aggression.
like,
Petty is
Those
fine.
dedicated to the worship of a deity are not to be approached.
Val's
Directly.
really making it like
I'm gonna
official.
say by another. So again, it's vague. It doesn't.
What happened is the Morgan actually wrote them, and the rest of us were just sitting around saying dumb shit like, you can't leave notes on my followers' bathroom mirrors. Please don't write creepy stuff in the Steam.
I was gonna say there was some sort of. I was gonna add some sort of rule of like, not like we can't kill the members of the Pantheon. There's got to be something for like, avoiding harm to mortals or something. Like not like we said you can't kill humans, but it's like you shouldn't go out of your way to kill humans. Like you shouldn't do it for fun. You shouldn't do it because they like cut in front of you at the Starbucks. Like kind of the idea of like if they're pissing you off and like to like if it's a matter of like your personal integrity or self-defense, sure, but it's just enough that like if you kill a human it might cause a problem. Or we do this like we had also talked in our last meeting about the magic and kind of the miracles we do are meant to be like ambiguous. Like we can't give them direct confirmations of faith. We have to keep it like somewhat vague. I don't know how to put that in like the covenant. Like we can entice people to worship us, but we can't like go out there in like full like splendor and say like I am your god, worship me.
Unless that's your Vegas thing. And which
Yeah, it
case-
has to be veiled in something else. Like, is this a show? Is this like there has to be some
You can go Lestat, but it has to yeah.
I think that falls more under the purview of like, if we're going to write that as a rule, something like there are
maintaining
some
the
things that are just for the gods. Like there are some things that
Yeah, I was gonna say like the veil, like
for the
you must
humans,
maintain the integrity of the veil or something like
for
that.
the safety and sanity
Yeah.
of the mortals, like because they'd probably lose it or explode.
They explode. I'm making that canon. They explode.
Intense sport.
I'm saying you must maintain the integrity of the veil for the sake of humanity.
Yeah.
I put that high up on the list. That's like the second one on the list, and probably that these are more important the higher up they are.
Higher on the list, the closer to God. That's what they say.
So maybe we do that instead of something vague about like not killing humans.
I like that.
I think it's like don't purposefully like literally blow their minds. You
So
won't
that's
have any
5.
followers left.
And I think that gives us a lot to work with. So no killing other members of the Pantheon is the most important rule. You must maintain the integrity of the veil for the sake of humanity. Favors asked of another deity are expected to be returned in kind. No direct interference in the matters of another deity. And those dedicated to the worship of a deity are not to be approached by another.
I would like to add one more in just because I like fucking over my own characters.
You're gonna fit right in here, Seda.
You have to attend like maybe a yearly gathering or whatever to review the covenant. Yearly or once I don't know, once ever, however
Every
often.
cycle or something like that.
Maybe
Like-
that's how the cycles start. Is like the cycle officially begins when everybody's up and moving and we all get together and say we're still following the rules.
Yeah.
Go team, break.
So maybe the last one is like these tenets are to be affirmed at the beginning of each cycle.
Yeah.
Whoa, so meta, y'all.
I'm starting off breaking the covenant before we've even begun. That's great.
Okay. So again, not the most important. It's the least important of the rules, but it is one of the rules, and you have
It's
broken
tradition.
it probably a couple of times. Bad.
Well,
Okay.
if you
So
don't
those
show
are
up for the meeting, you don't get a say.
So those are pretty much the big things. What did we say the order was that everybody awoke in? So
Technically Joe, but he like dipped.
Joe.
I guess then Meredith
Yeah,
if
because we
she
know
was-
that Meredith did before.
before Apollo.
Yeah, and before Morgan too.
Mhm.
I think Hell is the most recent.
I think Hell is the most recent.
And then like Loki in there somewhere too.
Yeah, I was doing mainly the original, the four of us, but yeah, we
Gotcha.
should probably also flesh out the others. So then we have Mars, Apollo, Nemesis, and Loki.
Nemesis is probably also fairly recent.
Does anybody have any preferences to like what order that they awoke in, whether it was before or after you did, and what they do? I mean, again, I think that'll mostly be up for the character so the person playing them gets to decide like those things. So, which I think all of us, well, except for
I am
Sid
all
is playing.
God.
gods. I am nothing but gods.
Yeah,
Everybody's got at least one though, right?
everybody's one because I think that means so Sita will only have Joe as one of the members of the Pantheon.
Yeah, I
Well,
guess
Fenrir's not a member.
Fenrir
Fenrir
is
Fenrir
a
doesn't get to put his paw
supernatural.
into things.
No, Fenrir's the group pet.
he's the mascot. No, he's always awake.
So, yeah.
Watching.
So, 1, 2, 2, 3. So that means Sid gets the most votes. So we have to gang up on Sid. If suddenly Loki, Mars, and Meredith start agreeing on everything, then we know we
Yeah,
have a problem.
highly
No
doubt that.
problem.
Highly doubt that.
It's really the only kind of metagame that can possibly
It does mean that if
happen
we
in
ever
this.
have like some sort of trial with all of the Pantheon there, you get
You
to play
know
the most-
that I am gonna make my connections hate my character, right? Like that's just a guarantee. So
both Mars and Loki are like, I am never going to speak with with Meredith,
Meredith,
ever.
ever. Fuck her.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we need to flesh out. I was curious mostly for my own like backstory stuff, thinking about relationships between the four of us, what order.
Yeah, Joe, Meredith, the Morrigan, and Hella. Yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense.
Sid, and you're playing Loki, so obviously go with it. But I wanted to toss out. I kind of like the idea that Loki woke up before Odin in this situation, and maybe was looking for him, found him. I don't know what, but like the
That
son
could
was
be really
waiting for the
interesting.
father in that instance.
Or got
could be
adjusted
very
to
Just-
godhood again, and then his dad shows up in the next cycle, and you're like,
God damn it.
me, damn it.
Damn it. Oh my me.
I did have one question for y'all because this is mostly like as a player thing, and I was curious. So, the Morgan has 3 distinct names, personality. At least they're like Bab, Maka, and Nemain. And I didn't know if I should work those in. Like, basically, it's sort of like a pronoun thing at the beginning of every day. It's like walks in a room, just says like Bab, and so everybody knows like that's who they're talking to at that point, or if we should play it a different way, or if I should just go by Morgan every time. Is it gonna be hard keeping track of 3 names?
Normally, I would say no, but when you're also playing 2 other NPCs,
Yeah,
it's a lot. It's a lot of names.
that's fair. I don't have to do it.
I think
I'm
it's
just gonna be
cool,
basing
though, is
the-
the thing.
Yeah. And that's why I wanted to get input, because I don't want to put that on other players to like remember.
I
the 3
fully
names.
support whatever you decide, and I'll roll with the punches. I think they're both good ideas.
Yeah. I'll think about it. Does anyone else have anything they want to add? Because I think that was everything I wanted to go over.
No, I was just gonna say, for my purposes, make sure your connections have pronouns attached and fill in what they think of your character.
Yeah.
Because I've got stuff to make.
Yeah, I need to do the what they think. But I will do those after we are done here today. Does anybody else have anything they want to go over?
Feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel good about it.
Yeah, I guess we'll just, during our first session, we'll kind of figure out where we want to get started at. So that's going to be kind of, again, talking a little bit about the cycle of play, what's going to happen. So next Friday, we will sit down and when we show up, we'll decide like what our opening scene is going to be. So think about that. Like, what kind of events do you want to deal with? Like, do we want to have one big event? Do we want to have like a split where it's a couple of us? Do we want to do, I mean, again, it could be anything. So we can, I don't think we want to start with a flashback, but I guess we could. We do a couple of things up. So we can set those scenes. Since all of us are kind of running this in tandem, like we can all come to the table with like our own ideas, and we can decide which one we want to do, and we can put the, bookmark the other ones for later, whatever we want to do. We'll play out those scenes and then see where things go from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, I'll close it out and we can get going. So thank you everyone out there for watching. That's what we're gonna call it for tonight. Like I said, we will be back next Friday to begin our game in earnest and see where this takes us. I'm very excited for this. It's gonna be a fun little experiment. We'll see how it goes. Join us in the meantime for tomorrow for Saturday night's Star Power, which is our Fate game at 5:00 Eastern time, where we're gonna get to something and people are gonna be traumatized. It's kind of what happens every Saturday that I run that game. And join
Kidnapped
us.
last time.
You did
You're
get
not kidnapped anymore.
You're not kidnapped anymore. You got unkidnapped.
You got out.
I know. We're just talking about being traumatized. So, like, I did get kidnapped by creepy hands inside my motorcycle helmet.
Yeah,
It's true.
Which I did
hands
not
inside your
appreciate.
motor. The Avatar of Death kidnapped you, and
It's only a little bit of a kidnapping, I guess.
yeah. I don't think I did anything else too traumatic last time. Somebody's gonna remember something if I leave this open
Push
long enough.
X to doubt.
But yeah, so join us for that. Rest of our schedule is below our faces. If you're watching us live on Twitch, if you're watching us on YouTube, some point in the future, head over to our Twitch page, see whatever we're doing right now. Thank you to Zeta for joining us for this. Very excited to have you on the cast.
It's been a blast. I've had so much fun.
I'm even more excited once we get into the nitty gritty of roleplay. It's going to be great. I have nothing else. I'm stalling. Thank you, everyone out there in the chat, for joining us. Merch, because I've been told by my producer to plug our merch store.
Can't stand up.
Please model the merch.
I'm like crunched in here because of my green screen.
Yeah, we have a new shirt that says "Wake up every day and fight karma barehanded." In the chat, you can go to our store. I believe the link is there. There it is. You can go to our merch store. You can buy our merch and support our channel. And there's lots of good shirts there.
Yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, it's merch.streamelements.com/game nights.
Yeah. Lots of good shirts.
You can buy this
that
tank
we
top
made
that
here.
has a dumb thing I said when we played Destiny one time.
Yeah, it's mostly just stupid things that we've said playing games or and stuff. So yeah. But yeah, so
Buy my
check that out.
inspirational poster tank top.
Yes.
That's gonna be it. Thank you everyone out there. Thank you my lovely players for making this a joy. I'm so excited for this new adventure. We will see everyone next time, and until then, good game and good night, internet.